It's that time of the year again when all of us sit down to set our New Year resolutions. If you know me by now, you know that I loved resolutions because I think they positively change our life in a lot of different ways. But my problem with resolutions is that a lot of us actually end up not following the resolutions in the long run. We give up on our resolutions as early on as January or February. And that is why this year I decided to do a little bit of research and figure out if there's any kind of science to setting good resolutions that can actually stick. And I figured out this whole concept of smart goal setting, which I thought was very practically applicable to resolutions as well. So what do these SMART goals stand for? So SMART goals or SMART resolutions stand for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic and time bound. Specific means, let's say you set a resolution of reading more books this year. So instead of using the word more, you can actually define the word by saying I want to read 3 books every month. So that will actually help you out with making your resolution specific, and which will also help you in moving on to the next bit, which is measurable. So once your goals are specific, they'll become easily measurable. So you'll know if you read 3 books, you know that you've achieved your goal for this month. And if you don't read 3 books, you will know that you were not able to do, or you were only partially able to achieve the goal. So that's where the measurable bit comes in. The third piece is achievable. So this is before you set the resolution, actually think twice before defining the resolution for yourself. Let's say you want to read 3 books every month. Is that even achievable for you? Are you somebody who's just starting off with reading? If you are a beginner, maybe starting off with just doing 1 book every 2 months would be a more achievable goal. So think about the achievability so that the resolutions don't become too far-fetched. The next one is called realistic. Now, of course, our resolutions can't be that we want to actually go to Mars this year. They actually have to be realistic. So before setting any goal, make sure that your goals are as realistic as possible. The last bit is time bound. Now, it's important to also keep your goals time bound or your resolutions time bound, because if, let's say, your resolution is to travel to 5 countries this year, if you actually break it down and let's say make it 1 country every 2 months, it will probably help you achieve and plan for those goals better. So make all of your resolutions also time bound. Keep certain timestamps in the middle of the year so that you're able to sort of break it down and plan for them accordingly. So now that I've explained the goal setting process and the resolution setting process that I'm using for myself this year, I would want to share my 5 New Year resolutions for 2019. My resolution number 1 is to experiment with content on YouTube. Now, if you guys know me and you've been watching my channel for a while, I somehow get the sense that a lot of my videos are very similar in terms of how they look and feel. Like, I feel like I don't experiment a lot with the editing, or I don't experiment a lot with how the style of the video is entirely. So this year for me, the biggest goal is to experiment a lot with this content creation and see if I can get more video topics in, or even try out different styles of editing and different ways of using music and things like that. Basically, the intention is to make the content even more engaging than what it is currently, so that you guys can get the best out of your viewing time. My resolution number 2 is to keep learning this year. I feel like last year, because I was doing too many things and it was my first year of doing YouTube full time, I think I sort of gave up on the fact that, I stopped learning regularly. I am a person who believes that learning shouldn't stop right after we graduate from school or college. So for me, this year, I want to get back to learning. So my partner for learning this year is going to be Skillshare, and I'm so glad that these guys have also partnered with us for this video as well. Skillshare is a learning platform that hosts a plethora of courses on a lot of different topics, all of which can be learned from the comfort of our homes. I've already signed up for my Skillshare subscription, and my intention is to learn at least 1 course every month. This will ensure that I don't get a little behind from all the new things that are happening in the world, and I'm constantly updating my skills on a regular basis. The kind of courses that I'll be learning on Skillshare are on photography, videography, because these are things that are directly related to the kind of work that I do, but they have courses on all kinds of topics. So you guys can also pick and choose things depending on what works better for you. The team at Skillshare has been generous enough to give us a link specifically mentioned in the description box below. First 500 people to click on that link will get 2 months of free subscription. So make sure go ahead and click on that link as soon as possible. Now, my resolution number 3 is to start 2 new projects. Number 1 is that I really want to start my own podcast. A lot of you keep coming to me in the comment section and also write to me on my Instagram that you actually like the way my voice sounds, which is something that I actually had no idea about till last year, till all of you came and gave me this feedback. So I thought it would be actually a very good idea to start a podcast service. In the podcast, I mostly want to talk about productivity. I want to get a lot of new people on to interview them and get the best out of their experiences as well. It is just going to be a podcast for all of us who are trying to make our lives a little bit better every day. The second project that I want to work on is that I actually want to start an email service. Now this email service will be completely free for anybody who signs up for it, and at the end of every week you will get an email from me with a lot of updates on some very interesting productivity hacks, some downloadable PDFs which you can use to organize your life better. Basically, it'll be a resource full of email and you will get that in your inbox every week. I've been meaning to do this since like 3 months now, but I am so excited for 2019 to come in because I think I will finally be able to start this service. I know this sounds like a very sort of a challenging project to take up because it's going to really take a lot of my time, but it's something that I've been meaning to do for a really long time, and I think it'll give a lot of values to you guys as users as well. Apart from just watching videos, which obviously can only be limited to a certain number, and I can't do a lot of resources in the video, I thought supplementing that with an email service which is completely free for anybody and everybody to use would be actually a very good addition to my videos as well. So yeah, I'm hoping for these two projects to start as soon as possible. Podcast would probably start by January and the email service will probably start by February. Let's see how that goes. My next resolution is to travel more, and to make it more specific, my goal is to travel to 5 new places this year. I'm somebody who finds traveling very therapeutic. I feel like traveling can teach us things that I think regular life experiences cannot teach us. But last year, what happened was, because I was doing YouTubing for the first time, I actually ended up not traveling as much as I usually do in the other years. And this year, I don't want to compromise on my travel goal. So I am going to be traveling to 5 new places this year, and I'm very excited to announce my first destination, which is going to be Singapore in January. We're going there for our 2nd anniversary, and I'm so excited to make a lot of Singapore vlogs as well. I actually also want to travel to make a lot of travel films and travel videos because I love watching them, and I'd love to have a lot more of them on my channel as well, so that you guys can also vicariously look at the world and travel along with me. So I think traveling is like a big goal for me, and if I actually have to define my theme for 2019, it's going to be travel and explore. So traveling is going to be my number 1 resolution. I'm not going to take that lightly. It's going to be the resolution that I'm going to follow very seriously. Now the last resolution that I have is something that I'm already worried if I'll be able to keep it or not, but I think I'm going to still go ahead and make this resolution with the hopes that even if I keep it for a few weeks every month, it'll be awesome. So the resolution actually is that I want to work out 3 times a week without fail, and I want to eat out only once a week. I think both of these things will really help me in improving my health, and will actually help me out with a lot of the health issues that I face on a regular basis. Working out is super important. I'm sure I don't need to tell you guys that. And at the same time, eating out, I think every time I go out to eat, I feel like I only end up eating junk, and that's kind of sad. I want to also, when I go out, make slightly healthier choices. I know it's never going to be as healthy as food that's cooked at home, but I want to make healthier choices and actually live a better 2019 health-wise. So these were all of my resolutions, guys. Do let me know what your resolutions are in the comment section below. Let's together work towards making sure that we keep our resolutions. Your big takeaway from this video, according to me, should be the fact that when you set your New Year resolutions, try to make sure that you're setting it in the SMART way. And what does SMART stand for? Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. Make sure that you account for all of these 5 things, and I'm sure you'll be set for a great 2019. Wish you all a very happy New Year. I'll see you next time. Bye.